If you ever want to know what your auntie is thinking, ask Uncle Mike. Just stand next to me for a good 20 minutes. You'll know what's on my mind. Right? Because I talk to myself all day, out loud. Those are the best kinds of conversations because she is a witty little shit on the other end of that one. But to be fair, and in my defense, I'm not actually talking to myself. I'm either talking to my Abba, or, like in this situation, the story I'm about to tell you, I was running through an idea for a TikTok. And I gotta tell you about this one. But first, I want to talk about this one. If you guys saw my video, this last March, there was a blood moon eclipse. And I am so grateful that my beautiful new friend Robin was here at my house. We had flown her out here. Yay, I love my Robin because we beat her stage 4 cancer, pew. But I flew Robin out here for a week, and at the night of the eclipse, she was here with me at my house. I have the Nikon P1000, baby. Yeah, that's the one person nobody out there wanted to have it. Auntie. That camera's been discontinued because that camera, well, it tells truth. But it is a biggin. It is heavy, and I have it on a very expensive, heavy tripod. So once I get that bad boy situated, I don't want to move it. But if you are familiar with this camera also and wanting to shoot close-ups of the moon, once you have it situated, you don't want to move it. Ooh, it is a bugger to, ooh, it's a pain in the tush. How many times do I tell you guys, watch your words? Watch your words. Your words have power. Yeshua himself says the most powerful muscle in your body is your tongue. And with it, you have the power of doing either good or evil. On this night, I think I had the power of doing Yah's work. As I told Robin, we were out there taking pictures of it. Clearly, here's where we were at in the stage of it, the blood moon. We had been out there, I don't know, a couple of hours at this point. Where I was pointing my camera, straight shot of the sky. I have a tree on that side, but so far away, out of the distance, there's no way it could have even gotten in the way. And on the other side, no trees for days. You'd have to go all the way around my other side of the yard to find a tree. But even so, the one on the right was nowhere near being in the frame. As Robin and I were standing outside together, I said, you know what I really love to do is get my camera on full moon nights and stand here and point all the way to the left down by our shop because there's a bunch of trees. And I love how the moon comes up through the trees and I can snap shots and it looks like deer or fairies or people having conversations. It's the neatest thing, right? Robin then said, I got to go inside. I'm getting chilly. I said, okay, well, I'm going to keep snapping. She was just feet away from me. I'm still standing there talking to her through an open door. Snap. Well, you can only imagine my shock, dismay, and when in this shot, a branch showed up. I was like, wait, what? Looked around, still seeing my camera is nowhere near the view. And I thought, what? Well, then my next shot, still not moving my camera, no branch. Seconds later, no branch, and then a branch. Oh, that's when I panicked. I said, Robin, get out here now. She is my witness. She can attest because both of us were just jaw dropped. Branch, no branch, branch, no branch. Never once moving my camera and even looking, both she and I, the tree was nowhere in shot. And even then, the tree that I do have there, it does not look like that. I have a whole nother page of branch, no branch. But it was this one, the last one, that had my mind blown. But how? How now, brown cow, that I had not moved my camera not a second, not an inch? Because if you have this camera, you know, had I, the moon would not be in the same position that it was. But now the branch is all the way on the left? What? There was no way to explain that phenomenon. Well, there is one. And it was not the placement of the camera, nor where my tree was feet away from even being in the frame. It was the power of my tongue. How I had literally just spoke about how I love having tree branches in front of a full moon. That is the only plausible explanation. Because the laws of physics and the placement of my trees, and especially the branch on the left, because I could take you outside right now and show you. There is no way. Robin can tell you too. There was no branches within shot of my camera, and I never moved it once. But I did just say what I had said to her about loving branches in front of the shots of the full moon. Again, we never left the camera. We never moved it again and kept shooting, and no more branches after that. But it was the one comment from one of my followers saying, Auntie, did you somehow just make the parable of the fig tree happen with the lunar eclipse in your photos? But it happened again, y'all. It happened again. Which brings me back to my original, if you ever want to know what Auntie is thinking, just hang out next to her. Don't let me know you're there for about 20 minutes and you'll know everything that is on my mind because I talk to myself out loud. About 4, maybe 5 days ago, I was standing right here in the bathroom, and I wanted to make a video explaining how, as a psychic clairvoyant medium my entire life, I was a popular girl. I had friends for days, even the types of friends that I knew, hello, psychic, that weren't even my friends. They would use me because I get it. Who wouldn't want a psychic for a friend? Especially one who would never charge for a reading. I used to carry a penny around with me. And when people would be like, I don't have anything to give, I'm like, yeah, you do. Here, take this penny. Give it to me. We're done. I never charged for my readings because I always believed it was a gift from my father, and it wasn't correct or right for me to ever profit off of my purpose. But do not ask me for a reading because I denounced that in 2022 when I was born again. Now, for some reason, while I was thinking about making this video explaining how now, brown cow, that I have denounced being a medium and see long, long, long beyond the veil now the truth of the spirit realm, it's like crickets. It's very lonely. Isn't that strange? How everybody wants to be friends with a psychic who is literally talking to demons, familiars who are posing as people's loved ones. But when it comes to a Christian who has even better heightened abilities and now lives beyond the veil to see the truth of the spirit realm, well, it is a very lonely life. Isn't that sad? Isn't that strange? That makes no sense. But as I was going to make this video, I had something land on my heart. A reading that I did. There are some that I'll never forget. This one was really strange though. You see, I was doing a reading in my 20s with a friend of mine who was paralyzed. She was in a wheelchair. And as we were doing the reading, something stopped me and said, tell her to get a Band-Aid right now. Now, she's paralyzed, so it was difficult for her to maneuver in her trailer, in her single wide. And I said, we need a Band-Aid. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, I don't know. We just need a Band-Aid. She's like, oh, well, okay. So she went and got a Band-Aid. Actually, I think I went and got it for her. And I came back and she goes, what was that for? I said, I don't know. Something just said that you're going to need it before this is done. This one was weird. And she never stopped talking about this for years. She's like, Colette is the real deal. In fact, she brought people over to my house that I could tell you some stories. Oh, man. Doodlebug. I'll never forget that one. Anyways, as we were doing the readings, something happened. And I want to say it had to do with one of her kids. Anyways, before the time the reading was done, she suffered an injury to her leg. She didn't know it, of course. She's paralyzed. But as I looked down, she was bleeding. And I'm like, oh my God, we need that Band-Aid. That blew her mind. And it always blew mine. I never understood how I had that gift or ability. Anyway, so as I was practicing this video, I said this all out loud. Auntie, when are you going to learn? Your power is in your tongue. There's somebody, and out of respect for the people, I'm just not good. Not everybody wants to be on social media. Somebody very close to us was on a vacation, and they saw a family member visiting with them, and they're in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. And they called us yesterday to tell us how their trip was going. And they said, so-and-so, we were having troubles getting her into her bed. So somebody came to help us when suddenly, out of nowhere, her leg was gashed open and we had to bandage it. What? No, but what? Which also led me to something much bigger about, I've spoken about this, my pre-death delirium, the week that I was in ICU in completely a different world. And some of the things that happened have now unfortunately manifested that I created in my mind. Well, it actually had to do with that person who's in the wheelchair. I've never met him. I don't know him. They wouldn't, I'm sure they know my name, but they don't never known me. But somehow, somewhere in my mind, this person had wronged another person, and it doesn't matter. But another thing, it doesn't matter. Your tongue has power. Your mind has power. I told Mike, I cannot believe this, but I literally just spoke this. A paralyzed woman in a wheelchair would need a bandage because her leg would get gashed. Watch your words. You have way more power than you know. Some probably more than others, maybe, I don't know. But even my husband at this point, who has seen the multiple things just in the past few months that I will say so randomly that couldn't have nothing to do with anything, and then suddenly whatever I have spoken, it plays out. Our tongue is truly the most powerful muscle in our body. Yeshua tells us, watch your words, because the tongue has the power of life or death. But I choose my powers for good, not evil. I do. And on that note, you're going to have the most beautiful and blessed day. That's how I choose to use my tongue. Purely licking stamps and doling out blessings. All right. I love you so big.